Hey study squad, it's me Anjy. I hope you are having a wonderful Tuesday wherever you are. This is a bit more of a chatty video. Should have written notes to guide me, but this is my language story. Okay, so basically I'm doing this because a lot of people have asked about my experience with languages. I offer a lot of advice. It's my passion. It's something I really love, and I'm definitely going to continue doing in the future. Seeing as I offer you advice, I thought I'd let you guys know how I learned languages so quickly, because that's one of the reasons I've been so put off doing a French video. Because with me, for French, I feel like I need to say sorry to my French teacher. I very rarely touch that vocab. I rarely revise. I watch French stuff and then I learn it. It's literally that. If there's specific stuff that I need to learn, like with my Spanish GCSE, click up here to see my Spanish journey. Literally, because I speak to my friends in Spanish, I didn't find it hard. The stuff I had to learn was the environment, global issues, stuff that I don't talk about with teenage girls. Because when I'm talking to my girls, I'm like, me dijeron que you and your novio and like stuff like that, because that's how teenage girls talk, or just like, like, so that's, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just get to the video. Basically, so I was born in Nigeria. Yes, Niger girl, team Nigeria, we the best. I sound like DJ Khaled. So obviously that's how, you know, your girl picked up Yoruba. But when I moved to the UK, I was more interested in learning the language of my sister, but to some extent I felt very ashamed of where I was from until like the age of 9, because I was made to feel like I was less. There was like an inferiority complex surrounding Africans at that time. This is like the early 2000s. This is when no one was saying Wakanda forever and everyone was saying you African booty scratcher, all that stuff. So I was like, my culture, my language. But I do have some Yoruba kiddie books that I've used, and personally I've like taught myself my language a bit more, because you know, we gotta do it for the culture. So that's how I have Yoruba. That's how I got it, lost it, got it, I guess. English, so I moved to Angleterre, and that's how I speak English, because you know, been in the English education system. And when we talk about French, I've been learning French my entire life. This is why French is one I can't give advice on. Shout out to Madame Asman, my first ever French teacher. Je voudrais te dire merci beaucoup, parce que à cause de toutes les choses tu as fait pour moi, je suis comme ça maintenant, je suis magnifique ou magnifique polyglotte. Je ne sais pas si mon français c'est correct maintenant. C'est correct, c'est droit. Oh wow, je ne peux pas parler en français. Désolée, mais merci beaucoup, mademoiselle, madame. So yeah, Madame Asman. That's the main reason why I don't know if I could actually do French A level, even though I'm considering it, because I've been doing French since I was an actual fetus. No, since I was an embryo, since I was a zygote. I was just there, a bundle of cells, like, bonjour, tu les vois, à cause de ça. Like, yeah, I've been doing French so long. Before I forget, let me list my languages: Yoruba, Pidgin English, French, Spanish, German, English, Hindi, Urdu, Russian, Arabic, Italian, Portuguese, Japanese, Chinese, Korean. I think that's all the languages I've ever tried to attempt. So how many is that? 15. I will let you know at the end how many I've actually kept. So from both of my grandmas watching Yoruba movies, that's how I started watching foreign movies. That's a key thing in my language journey. Where have we gotten up to? We've gone to French all my life. In primary school in year 5, we learnt Japanese, so konnichiwa lads. I haven't kept that up, but I might pick it up again in the future. Let's ignore the terrible lighting and focus on me. I basically forgot to mention Pidgin English. It's pretty easy. It's a dialect from Nigeria. Well, there are different types of Pidgin English. Nigerian Pidgin English is actually considered a language. That was aimed at one of my friends. we had a little debate over whether it was a language or not. It's officially a language. Basically, I picked it up from all those movies my grandma watched and loads of videos on Facebook and stuff. And sometimes speaking it to friends occasionally. I don't use it much, so it's not very good anymore because someone laughed at me this one time and I was like, never again, never again. But that's basically my experience with Pidgin. It's pretty easy, I guess, for me because I speak Yoruba, but what can I say? I actually like Japanese. At that same time, I was having language fever. I've mentioned this in the start of one of my other videos, but I had huge language fever. This is the same time I was doing Japanese, German, Italian, Portuguese, Hindi, Urdu, Russian. That's 7 languages at once. So with Hindi, Urdu, Arabic, I dropped them because I wasn't that into them. I picked up Urdu because I was just trying to finish watching an Urdu movie. Hindi was kind of out of interest. Another thing with Urdu is that my old neighbours were Pakistani, so I was like kind of inspired by them. Hindi, Urdu, Arabic. Arabic I just wanted to be extra. I knew a lot of Muslims when I was in my first primary school, so I was like, let me eavesdrop on your conversations. With Russian, no, I don't know what I was doing thinking Russian. With Japanese, that was in primary school. German, Italian, Portuguese. German is scary to me, I'm gonna be honest. In my French class, don't appreciate it. I always get scared when the person next to me starts talking German because like we confuse languages sometimes. And everyone thinks I have this thing against German as a language. I don't. I just get very scared because of all the consonants and my heart starts beating because I don't understand. It's not a I hate German thing. No, I have nothing against German. I'm just terrified for my life. So German didn't last. Italian and Portuguese. My Italian and my Portuguese were fine. They were so good. I kept them up from year 5 till year 7. So from age 9, 10, 11. That's like when your brain is like a sponge. So I learned Portuguese because I was watching this Portuguese drama, and the next series, I think it was series 2 or 3 out of 4. So I had like been emotionally invested. There were no English subtitles, so I was like, I need to know what happens in this love triangle. I need to know if they graduate. I need to know what's happening, this X, Y, and Z. So I picked up Portuguese. I know it sounds really stupid. Why would you pick up a language just because you want to watch something? But I was emotionally invested and I had free time. I mean, I was in primary school. I had nothing going for me. I didn't have that many friends, if I'm being quite honest. So I was like not about to go out with anyone. More than that, not even a question of having friends to go out with. I have a Yoruba mother. What makes you think she was gonna let me leave the house at 9 years old? I wasn't allowed to have sleepovers till like 13, like honestly, I had time, so picked up Portuguese really, really well, forgotten everything. I can say pra ela, which means for her. I can say ciao, oi. That's about it. That's about my Portuguese, it's all gone, I forgot it. My Italian, so good. All I remember now is bella ragazza, pretty or beautiful girl. I dropped Portuguese and Italian in year 7 so I could focus on my other subjects. Biggest mistake of my life. Can't pick up Portuguese or Italian again that easily. When I sit down properly, maybe next summer, I'll get it back. But I regretted it so much because I just let it go. If you told me when I was 10 I was going to take 3 language GCSEs, I would have told you straight up Italian, Portuguese, Japanese, maybe German instead of Japanese. But you know, I regret that. So that's with my other languages. How did I learn these? Duolingo, YouTube videos. People always ask me, Anjy, how do you learn this? Where do you find this? I literally search up exactly what I want into the search bar. Italian, word order, lesson, PDF, PowerPoint, into Google, into YouTube, everything comes up. That's how I learned things. And with Duolingo, which I actually just reinstalled, which is great. At that time, actually, okay, I'm confessing, I'm exposing myself. I was trying to be very rebellious against my parents. They were like, you can only listen to edifying music. In my head, that meant music that made me feel good and religious music. In their heads, it was just religious music. So I was like, if you can't hear what I'm saying, if you don't understand what the musician is saying, you can't touch me. So this is when I started listening to French music, Spanish music, a lot of different languages. Most importantly, K-pop. Annyeonghaseyo boys, we made it. And like every K-pop fan, it started the same. I just want to learn their names. Here I am. bought BTS tickets, gonna see them in 2 weeks. Yeet, yeet, yeet. Yeah, that's how it happened. I was just trying to rebel against my parents, so I started listening to that music, which actually helped me a lot. And because I know my mum is probably watching this, yes, I eventually listened to you. How many years later? This was when I was 9. Now I'm about to turn 16. So almost 7 years later, I just cleared out all of my Spotify everything music playlist, and it's only filled with like empowering, edifying music. So I guess the moral of the story is listen to your mother because she knows what's good for you. So yeah, that's how Korean stuff got into my life at this time. And I kept on listening to like a little bit of K-pop. I had some EXO here and there. This was like the year BTS debuted, so I was like listening to a bit of them. I didn't properly start listening or standing any K-pop groups until year 8, so that was like 2-3 years later. But in year 7 I was like, easy way out, let's do French. We go to France all the time. We have we have France family. That's how we speak English. French family, we have French connections. Bonjour tout le monde. Hello. I was like, ew, Spanish. Why would you choose Spanish? Oh my god, Spanish. Ew. I chose Chinese. I regret messing around in the first year of Chinese. Regret. But it was because of the people I was friends with. What can I say? You live and you learn. So I picked up Chinese with Li Lao Shi in year 8. In year 9, I had a freak thing and I was like, let me learn Spanish, basically. I was like talking to my teachers about it, like kind of, when I was considering it. And then I did the whole Brooklyn Masters thing. I won my trip to LA and I hung out with basically the Spanish kids from different, like Spain, Mexico, Puerto Rico, whatever. And that really got my Spanish going. I think it was like 9 actual months. Like I was like chill, but if we're talking about actual like revision time, maybe 9 months, but it was very casual. I only bought the textbook to learn stuff I needed to know, but because I'd been exposed to so much Spanish, I watched telenovelas anyway. I was like, I picked it up quite easily, which I'm quite lucky about. Like, I can't lie to you guys, I pick up languages easy because I let myself be exposed loads. At the same time, I was slowly picking up Korean. 안녕하세요. I use Language Class 101. It's with this company called Innovative Learning or something. They have like 34 languages. They have really obscure ones like Urdu, Punjabi, Swedish, but also obviously like Italian, Irish, Spanish, French, Japanese, Korean. And that's what I use for Korean. Thursday morning, 6 a.m. live stream lesson. I've chilled with my Korean until next year, but I know that my Chinese teacher speaks Korean and Japanese actually. She's like Korean, so I'll see if she can help me with that. And that's basically my language story. One other thing to mention, which is kind of a bit intimate, a bit raw, languages were kind of my escapism to get away from the world, to hide from people, to rebel, I guess. And in them I found freedom. I have different personalities when I speak different languages. When I speak Spanish, I'm a savage. When I speak French, I'm that emo kid on Tumblr. That's like the personalities I have when I speak different languages. And I love it. It's liberating. And I would definitely say in this new year, learn a new language. It can change your life. It can change the way that you see a culture, because you learn certain things. You're like, oh, that's why this, oh, the dots are connecting. It makes sense. So yeah, my relationships with languages has pretty much always been good. Apart from the time when I like had this realization that it was my form of escapism, and I was like, whoa, oh no, because that's not healthy. So I fixed that, and yeah. If you want a video on how I learned each specific language, I can give you tips. How I learned things quickly, I can give you tips. I have a whole playlist, click up here somewhere to see it. I hope this hasn't been boring. I thought you guys would just be interested, because in so many different videos, I get comments on how do you learn this language, blah, 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 just different things about my language experience. And as someone who loves languages, who's passionate about languages, I thought I would share this with you, definitely. I can talk about the different things I've used. Any advice you want, comments below, let me know. If you speak more than one language, you're in that polyglot club, the bilinguality. I'm not really in the bilingual club, it's kind of sad. But yeah, give this video a big thumbs up. As always, make sure you wonderful people smile. Subscribe in this corner right here on my face, that little watermark. Make sure you slay. work hard, study hard, everything. I need to go revise for a chemistry test I have tomorrow, and I have a Chinese speaking in 2 days. Bye!